All right, it's time for the headline segment. Lucky, you can join in here if you'd like. What we do is we think what's going to be tomorrow morning's headlines, and Pito's going to start it off and show you how it kind of goes. Pito, take it away.
I'll try not to steal one of yours. I see you pick up the pencil or the pen and write things down, but I'll go with this one first.
Okay.
We had six seeds over 3 seeds tonight. Riverdale over Cane Ridge, Nashville Overton over Arlington, Tennessee High over Daniel Boone, Page over Signal Mountain, West Green over Cumberland Gap, White House Heritage over Houston County. Of course, there were some 7s over 2s in there, and the big one, the 8 over the 1. East Hickman at 4-6 beats 10-0 South Gibson tonight. So there were several upsets across Tennessee, not just 5s over 4s. 6 and 3s had some 7s and 2s, and an 8 and over a 1 tonight. So some upsets.
Not bad. DeKalb County's defense allowed 17 yards rushing for the game. Stout as a big red onion. Lucky, you got anything?
No, Pito stole mine. So.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry. Did you want to take one back?
Hit it up again, Pito.
Trey Burks tonight. How about that? Okay. 17 rushes for 296 and 3 touchdowns. Oof. And a win for Tullahoma over White County. And I do a quotable of the night. Coach Olive wants to go shut off Columbia's lights permanently.
That's right.
Flip the switch, boys.
I can trump that one. Clarksville Northeast, Jalen Reeves-Mabin. He is a Tennessee signee.
Yes, he is.
314 yards, 5 touchdowns tonight as Clarksville Northeast defeated Station Camp. The Bisons are extinct for 2012.
Al Cobb had another good night. 5 touchdowns for him, 3 on the ground. But, not a big surprise Giles County wins, but for Lipscomb Academy, biggest lopsided loss in playoff history for them, 48-7 loss to the Bobcats tonight.
South Pittsburgh hung 76 points on the scoreboard tonight. They had 290 rushing yards. Oh, wait, I left out something. In the first half. In the first half, 290 in the first half rushing. The Pirates are pretty good. They're going to go on the road next week at Gordonsville. That place will be crazy.
It will be nuts.
Page beats Signal Mountain tonight. Signal Mountain comes back from down 4 touchdowns.
Yep.
4 touchdowns to tie that up and go to overtime. And, Signal Mountain more of a ground-oriented team. They can throw it around, but come back down 4 touchdowns to go to overtime, lose 42-41. That would have been a good game to be at.
Siegel.
You can't take that one.
I know. I can't do that. Siegel, 9th win of the year that they have at least been in the mercy rule for some part of the second half. Ooh. That's pretty dominant so far this season.
And they've outscored Oakland 93-13 in 2 games. Siegel has.
Ooh.
If you want to add that in,
Ooh.
I just saw that on Twitter.
Ooh.
So that's pretty rough. I don't have anything else, Dennis.
I got one. Shocking. Maryville wins again.
Yeah, and
hang on, we need an extra on that one.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Breaking
bulletin.
news.
And they gave up 10. They gave up 10 points.
That may be shocking in itself.
There was a good game out in East Tennessee 6A. Oak Ridge got a touchdown late. That game was tied with like 2 minutes to go in the game. Science Hill and Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge gets a touchdown late to advance. They will travel to Merville next Friday night.
But Alcoa staying so close tonight, 28-18.
Yeah. This for Tom Krager, who's probably listening at somewhere. Dobbins Bennett wins in the first round for the first time since 2009. They had lost 2 straight first-round opening games. They took care of business tonight, 35-7 over Bearden.
It's hard to believe that they had, that they lost those 2 straight first round. They've had some good teams.
Oh, definitely.
Some very good teams. Dobbins Bennett. I'm still stuck on. We talked about this earlier. How an 8 or a 1 loses to an 8.
Especially an undefeated.
A 10-0 1 seed in South Gibson falls tonight.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to those kind of things that all districts are not created equal.
They are not created equal.
No.
And you know what? They're not on paper. You got to play the football games. But I like what Coach Shadowan said. It's not quite comparable when you compare some of these districts. He was talking about 6 and 7, but it's that way across the state. Not all districts are created equal, and maybe they'll be reworked a little bit.
There's going to be some district rematches next week in the playoffs. Let me quickly go to the other page over here. For sure, we know that Tullahoma's traveling to Columbia. That's a rematch of a District 8 AAA. Blackman's headed to Siegel, a rematch of 7 AAA. Let's see, 12 or 8 AA. DeKalb County travels to Livingston Academy next week. 12 AA. East Hickman travels to Hickman County next week. So, I guess what I'm floundering around to say is that this playoff matchup is going to put district teams against each other consistently in the first and second round.
Yeah, it does. But keeping them in the same areas, it does put them against each other. It does cut down on some travel here and there, but a lot of familiarity. You heard Coach, I think it was Coach Shadow was joking about it. I've got plenty of film on these guys. We're going to be very familiar. So I think you'll probably see some lower scores next week in some of those district rematches where teams are more familiar with each other. And I didn't mean to jump subjects, but I meant to bring this up earlier. I think I heard Coach Trapp with DeKalb County say that was their first home playoff win in school history. When you mentioned that they're 17 yards rushing allowed, I think I heard him mention that. Hard to believe when they've had some good players there and some good teams recently, but I'm pretty sure I heard him say that.
Yeah, there will be a brand new champion for 1A football in 2012. Wayne County falls tonight. They started out horribly. Remember, Moore County boat raced them in week 0. Wayne County falls tonight to Joe Burns 28-21. They were last year's class single A state champions. We'll keep tabs on the rest of those, but everybody else, all the other state champions from last year were victorious.
Yeah, Wayne County, like you said, they started off rough, and really, I think they started off 0-2 or 0-3. I can't remember. They did recover to get into the playoffs, and they were leading tonight. I thought they were going to recover and get them a win in the first round, but couldn't happen. And looks like Moore County, Eagleville, some teams in that area, or in 2A, 1A football are going to make a good run at it.
All right, Lucky, appreciate you coming in tonight.
No problem, man. Had fun.
We'll have there'll be 50 games next week, so we cut it almost in half.
Wow!
And we continue to
we can cut Danny's pay in half.
Bring it down, and as we travel into the second week of the playoffs, and Friday Night Thunder will be here next week. Don't know about all of our stations, but you can check us out streaming at our website, FridayNightThunder.com. For Rob Clutter, Brian Markham, Josh Peterson, Lucky Knott, Danny Catalano, I'm Dennis Weaver, thanking you for listening to the scoreboard edition of Friday Night Thunder, brought to you by Ascend Federal Credit Union. Visit them at ascendfcu.org. Also, thanks to the fine folks at the Sweet Tea Bakery, Erica Coulter, the owner-operator, cake decorator extraordinaire there, and the fine folks at Papa John's, papajohns.com. Check them out. And Erica would like for me to remember she's going to have several things being auctioned off tomorrow night at the Sportsman and Businessman's Auction in Manchester. So go out and check her out, and make sure that you get bid high and bid often for the Sweet Tea Bakery stuff. For the gang, for the crew, I'm Dennis Weaver. Thanking you for listening. We'll talk to you next week.